Hey Fools, Andrew Tonner here, Tech and Telecom Analyst for The Motley Fool, back for another one of our popular Ask a Fool series, where our analysts field questions from users via social media and respond to them. Today's question comes from user Jim Hester, who asks, what's your foolish take on Alcatel-Lucent? Well, it's an interesting scenario because this company, in terms of its share price performance, really seems like it could be back from the grave. We see the company up pretty well so far over the last year to date. But again, when you look at it from longer term, over 5 years, the company still is down significantly. And the reason is this company is really going through the middle of what is a very tough restructuring. So, is it a turnaround worth buying? I'm skeptical. To me, it's more of a hold, especially since we've seen the share price react pretty impressively. Because again, there are two trends I focus on in terms of the economics that drive the economics of their industry that put Alcatel-Lucent at the losing end of this dynamic. And the first of which is the trend towards consolidation for its customers, the telecom companies themselves. As we've seen mergers be the real trend, it's limited the number of companies that are out there that have contracts that the telecom equipment makers like Alcatel-Lucent can bid on. That ups the ante for each of these contracts and really increases the competition for bidding, just in terms of access to revenue for a lot of these companies. And that leads to these companies bidding at very, very, very thin margins for these contracts, and that can certainly be destructive for value if the companies can't end up breaking even. The problem here is that in order to bid for the most competitively on these contracts, it favors the companies that can operate at the largest scale. This is certainly an industry where the big fish is rewarded, and that's why you see names like Ericsson or the low-cost Asian providers, names like Huawei, or to a lesser extent ZTE, have a cost advantage versus other names like, say, a Nokia Siemens network or an Alcatel-Lucent. Now, of course, Alcatel, in terms of going through this restructuring program, is trying to make its business more efficient. They've been relatively proactive at laying off workers, closing contracts that have been unprofitable, or at least trying to exit them. But again, even with a more efficient base, I think these companies will still be at a downside to some of their larger competitors, and that's why, although you like the progress they've made, I don't think over the long term I'm very bullish on this company. So that's my take. To me, that's why it's a hold. So thanks a lot, and Fool on.